Okay, time is of the essence. Thank you, Caitlin, my right-hand woman. Are you left-handed?
No, I wish.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Are you left-handed?
I'm not.
Okay, you're
I think that
right-handed.
left-handed people are kind of weird.
You just called me weird.
I know. Well, checks out. See?
Yeah. I like being left-handed. I think that means you use both sides of your brain. I don't know. I read it on TikTok once. I'm not really sure if it's true.
It's true.
There's
it's
science and then there's TikTok science.
that we don't even
Which is
check
also
in and
science. Yeah,
validate,
there's
but it's
nothing.
still real.
Yeah, I'm raised on TikTok science.
Yeah. I'm raised on TikTok politics.
Yeah,
it's
we're
even
TikTok
worse.
everything. TikTok, we're TikToxic.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm so happy you're here. You know, today I have my friend Amanda Phelan on, aka Mandy, aka.
That's crazy that you say that. Oh my God.
I used to know her as Mandy, but
With
now,
an I.
now that she's like a professional, she goes by Amanda.
I try.
And it's her full government name. And
Yep.
Amanda, thank you for being here.
Of course.
This is like a very important episode for me.
I know. I'm kind of nervous.
No, I'm nervous too. Like I literally had to take a beta blocker.
Yeah, because it's like, wait, what the fuck is a beta blocker?
Can you Google what it is? I just put things in my mouth and take them and hope for the best. I think it's like for
Yeah. It does?
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah.
Is it like,
it's
I
like
just
for
take
people
Xanax.
take it for stage fright. They take it before flights.
Really?
Yeah. I don't do Xanax.
Is there like a big difference between like
It
a
doesn't make you sleepy. Like Xanax will make you sleepy.
Got it.
Yeah.
Chill.
Like this is like Xanax minus the crash out.
I'm gonna try it. I need to try it.
Yeah, you gotta
crash
try.
out
You
a
try
lot.
anything twice, you know. No, Amanda and we've known each other for a very long time, and the funniest thing is we connected. Well, people are like, "What's so funny?" Amanda and we've known each other since high school. I would say that we're friends.
Yeah,
From high
if you want to
school.
call it high school, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So back up.
Since high school age, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were 13 when I met
Yeah,
you?
I was 13.
Okay, so I was 17. Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. So I've known you since you were 13 years old.
Yes.
And you've known me since I was 17 years old.
Yes. Almost 25 years.
You don't have to put a number to it.
I know, true.
You can just vibe it. You can say it's a vibe. You don't have to say
I was
it's like
going
25
to not.
years.
Yeah.
You know, I put out a picture of me from my childhood yesterday, and people saw the date and started leaving grandma emojis. And I was like, oh my God, it's not that bad. It's the 90s. Like the
90s were epic.
Epic. 90s are returning.
Yeah.
Everything old is new again. Nostalgia.
100%. I mean, I see that in music. Yeah.
Well, what can you say what your like title
Who I am?
is? Yeah.
Okay. So I am Amanda, and I am a talent buyer and festival promoter. So I am the one who curates the lineups and negotiates all the artist deals for mass scale events. My niche is rock, pop punk, emo. So I am Mrs. Warp Tour. I brought back Warp Tour. Yeah.
Obsessed. You brought it back.
Yeah,
Thank
God. I did.
And
I know.
honestly, if I looked at you at 13, I would have been like, this girl's gonna bring back Warp Tour.
100%, right?
She is. I know it.
I know. It's funny because I was always like, I never got to experience Warp Tour. And because of obviously, all the things that we experienced growing up, but Warp Tour was not one of them. And I was always like, man, that's so my fucking vibe, you know? And just like fun and chill and skateboarding and extreme shit everywhere and great bands and like parking lots. I love parking lots.
I'm obsessed with parking. Vegas is basically a parking lot. And you know what? And the only thing I will say, like, parking lots are bad only when they pave paradise.
Facts.
You know, I say this line a lot when like they take things away from us when they pave paradise, you know, when they you know, I don't know, when I say it all the time, when they take something down and put something up. I don't know, but I can't think of anything. You know, it's just like Greenblatt's down the road.
Yeah.
They shut down, you know?
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they put up a veggie fresh. Like no one wants. I'm just kidding.
You gotta keep it OG sometimes. Like keep it. And that's what we were talking about. It's like everything the nostalgia element, things that are old, things that are like that vibe, like the MySpace era, and I mean low-rise jeans and freaking studded fur shit. It's like it's all back.
Okay, can I just say I'm so glad you brought all of these things up.
Mhm.
So you know what's funny is comedy brought us together again.
It did.
So
It did.
I will say there was a gap in our relationship.
Yes.
I think what age were you was the last time I saw you?
Prior to LA?
Yeah. What age did what, 13,
Yeah,
14?
13, 14. And then how did we reconnect?
Okay, I know
Okay.
exactly. I know
Okay, good.
exactly where I was. I have it in my head like a movie scene.
Yeah.
So one of my jobs before I got into stand up, it was like a year before I got into stand up, maybe 6 months. I went to school for marketing.
I was about to say
I went to,
socials.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
marketing and
and social, yeah.
communications
Yeah.
and like all these things. I have a master's, flex.
No big deal.
Yeah. And so I went to school in Florida. I went to school all over. I made appearances at multiple educational institutions. And I graduated from college in Florida and I moved to LA in 2013 with a master's degree with a job. The guy who I was working for let me work social media remotely to move to LA to pursue my dreams, which I didn't know what that was. At the time, I wanted to work in entertainment and comedy was always in the peripherals. I started going to stand up in college, like to the Palm Beach Improv, et cetera, et cetera. One of the first jobs in marketing that I had that I loved was working for Levity Entertainment, which is the company that owns all the improvs across the country.
Yes.
They're still an iconic comedy company. Yay for alliteration. And I applied on LinkedIn for this job to do social media for them. And I think they had like 50 people apply and they hired me. And I was like, I'm so not corporate. Like I'm so not corporate. Any corporate job, it's like I had to pretend like that's acting for me. Like I would have to put on clothes that I don't like
want to wear.
And they don't fit me right. And I feel awkward. And so like at this point, if I could talk to like 28, 27, what are you doing, bitch?
Yeah.
But I love her, I showed up sometimes to work. I mean, sometimes you're doing like comedy events, you're going to comedy. Like I had like cut off shorts and like a crop top like this.
Yeah.
Like,
at work events.
Yeah, like I'm the social media manager.
Yeah.
Like I would wear
I'm
crop
supposed
tops
to be cool.
work. But I'm also like, no, this is like a male dominated like field.
Yeah.
And like, I'm so not taking it serious.
Yeah.
Like it's the corporate side of comedy.
It is.
And I'm totally not corporate.
Yeah.
However, one of my tasks at work was managing Jeff Dunham's website, comedian Jeff Dunham's website dates. So I would get his tour dates from his agency, which was you. And you would send them to me and I would upload them, type into the computer. And the first time you emailed me or a couple times, I looked down and the email comes from Amanda Phelan.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I only know one Amanda. Well,
Did
know.
Did it click for you right away?
I was like, Mandy Phelan. I know a Mandy Phelan. I mean, I knew your full name was Amanda, but I was like, Amanda Phelan? Like, I only know one name. And I was like, LA. And then I was like, okay, I'm curious. Like, like, what are the odds?
I'm working in social media. Let me figure it out.
And so I go on Facebook and I find out that it's you.
Yeah.
And I was shook.
So I think I remember that moment because you're moving so fast, right? Especially in the corporate world. I was working at an agency called UTA. I was working for the head of comedy touring. His name is Nick Nuciforo. He has a bunch of clients.
Nick Nuciforo's office. That's where I would get your email from.
So a bunch of big name clients. I was an assistant at that time. It was over a decade ago. And you have such a high volume of emails and you're trying to track so much shit and you're just like this fucked up kid trying to make it in LA. And I remember us emailing back and forth a little bit. And then I think you emailed me and you were like, Amanda, like Discovery Academy, Amanda. And I was like, Oh my God. I remember the moment, and I was in the office and I was shook. It was like an out of body experience where I was like, how is this even a thing?
Right.
You know,
No,
I
that was
mean,
it was like, oh my God, the world is just like way too small. Or it just
yeah,
felt like I don't know, it just felt like majestic in a way.
it did. And like,
Because because the last time I had seen you, you disappeared.
I'm pretty
You
sure I was like
literally
locked in a.
You snuck out twice from this place.
I
You
know.
snuck out twice. They brought you back, and then
They put me
and
in a
then she
padded
fucking
room.
snuck out again.
Yeah.
So for those who are like, I don't know, whoever is watching out there,
Yeah.
Amanda and I we went to school in Utah together. We went to a troubled youth program.
Yes.
There's so many terms for it, like lockdown, troubled youth program,
Yeah.
therapeutic boarding school,
I would like
DA.
yeah, I go with lockdown.
Yeah,
Like
I
we
call it
were locked
lockdown.
the fuck
Oh
down.
no, there were bars on the windows, literally like jail
100%.
bars on the windows.
Yeah, no,
And
I
then
broke
when
out
you
of that bitch twice.
Twice. Oh my God.
Mhm.
And literally that's the last thing I remembered about you. Like when you snuck out and got away, we didn't hear anything about you after that.
Yeah.
There was no internet at the time. Like
Yeah.
they don't tell you anything about because they don't want you to get any ideas.
Yeah.
So, okay, I remember the first day you got to school, you showed up, you're 13,
Mhm.
and I was like, who is this little girl? You're
Mhm.
13 years old.
I know.
But you were like, I was a big fan of Jerry Springer. So like the energy that we all carried to this school was like, I'm going to do what I want and I don't care what my mama says and I'm going to,
Yeah.
and that's like, so like, for those who don't know, which is crazy because everyone I talk to either knows someone or they themselves went to a place
Yeah.
like this or they went to wilderness or they went to a program. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
And so the more I talk about it, the more I connect with people who like, have had similar
Yeah.
educational experiences. And I wouldn't even call it an educational experience.
It
This is
wasn't.
like
There
what
was
would you
nothing
say?
educational about it.
Yeah.
It was, it was a lockdown facility. It was a place that when our parents couldn't control us anymore, there was some situation that was going on. They sent us to this place to be watched over. I don't know. I think they
my
wanted
parents
reform, but it's not a place for reform.
No, I don't think that's the thing is like I've looked back. I don't think any of us knew. My parents definitely didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like I was one of the lucky ones. I didn't get kidnapped. Were you
I
kidnapped?
got kidnapped.
You were kidnapped.
I got kidnapped and I was taken to a wilderness program in southern Utah. I didn't shower for 100 days. I was trekking through snow for 100 days. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to change my life around. Like I had gotten kidnapped out of bed by two big men, flown on a plane. And I was like, I'm getting out of this wilderness program and I'm going to be great. And I remember my parents got there and they were like, you're not coming home. You're going to another place, and entered in Discovery Academy.
At what
Provo.
point did you know you were going somewhere to like a school?
Well, so Discovery Academy wasn't my first lockdown facility.
This is what I wanted to bring up is like this so Discovery Academy, the school that we went to, the lockdown, was my first experience into this kind of program. Whereas I come to find out a lot of the girls and kids we went to school with, it was co-ed, but kept separate. It was in Provo, Utah, and it was ran by all Mormons. So this is the dynamic of the school
100%.
that we're going to. And this is before the internet. I think MySpace was out, but there was nothing like, there was no texting your mom or like Facebooking her like, hey, come pick me up.
Yeah.
So there was very limited communication when you first get to these places or when you're in these types of programs for a reason. They want you to feel isolated. They want your parents to like separate and kind of like let the program do its work,
its magic,
right?
And
so for me, I've always wanted to know like the perspective and like what your experience is I mean, was this the first time you were like kidnapped out of your bed?
No.
Okay.
It was the second. When I was 11, had just turned 11, I was sent to an institution in San Bernardino Mountains called CEDU, CEDU.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure all of these places are shut down now. Like it's completely unethical. Like it's again. I just so no. There's so many cases in which most of these places don't even exist
Including the
anymore.
one we went to.
Yeah, yeah. So I did that. And then I went home.
What was it like when you were 11 years old? You just grazed over that. You're 11 years
Yeah.
old. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
What did they think that you needed to be sent away for at 11?
So I had a really, really interesting upbringing to where I love my parents. I have a great relationship with my parents right now, but I'm able to openly talk about this. Like my parents didn't want me, you know. When I was born, I was this very quiet, observant child. My brother comes around 4 years later. He's this happy-go-lucky child. My mom had given up her modeling and fashion career. And at that moment in time, I was kind of shoved aside, you know, and I started getting in a lot of trouble. I started rebelling. I started, stealing little jewels out of my kindergarten basket and like it's random shit, you know what I mean? And it just continued to progress. And when I was 11 years old, my parents went out of town and I stole the keys to their car and I drove their car and I went to the smoothie factory.
The smoothie factory?
Yeah, I just wanted a fucking smoothie.
Oh, I did. So like the equivalent of a tropical smoothie.
Yeah, yeah. And my neighbors saw me pulling out. And I got pulled over by police and I went to juvie and then they were like, we can't control her. And I was sent to my first program at 11. Yeah.
What smoothie did you get?
I'm a big fan of strawberry banana.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I wanted. But so when people ask me about things and like starting the trajectory of when I haven't lived with my parents since I was basically 11, it's like, it's so unique. I think both of our situations are unique. My parents are not addicted to drugs. I do not, come from a family that struggles financially per se, you know what I mean? But there was just there can always be trouble in paradise without those elements,
of course.
around. So, yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, I mean, the trauma that comes from being taken out of your bed at 11.
Yeah.
Was it guys who came in? Was it girls?
2 massive guys.
2 massive men.
Huge men. They're huge. They put handcuffs on you and put you in a van and drive you to an airport.
And are your parents just hiding in their bedroom?
Yeah, and they're just like, you gotta go. And you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
And where were you born again?
I was born in Dallas, Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
So they took you from Texas to San Bernardino.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrifying.
I know. And then,
what I want to say is, to your point, I have a similar upbringing in that, well, I wouldn't say that my parents didn't want me. I just think my mom and dad were very career focused people and I'm the first child. And, my mom, that was her dream to be a career woman like that, and at that time it was very rare for her to be doing what she was doing. And, and like looking back, I got all those best qualities from both of them.
Yeah.
But it comes with sacrifices. Like you said, they didn't struggle financially, but I will say like growing up, there were just like, there were just things that were like neglected, like my emotions and things like that.
So much. Being the oldest female sucks,
I say I'm not my dad's oldest daughter. I'm his first female son.
Yeah,
and
it sucks, huh?
I think that, again, I don't blame them because they did the best they could. And I think that, parents of that generation just had to, like they had to make their sacrifices. It wasn't like how it is now. And, I kind of had the same struggles growing up. Like I had, I remember like stealing Tamagotchi from a girl I did Girl Scouts with.
Yeah.
And I just, it was just things like that, small things. Like I didn't even smoke weed until I got to college. So it wasn't even that. It was behavioral issues for me.
So like your behavioral issues, they weren't that bad, huh?
I think my behavioral issues were more like, I don't know. I mean, it's like from whose perspective? Like you have two people who work, who work all day.
Yeah.
And again, like I think this all comes down to a lot of like who I am now. I have borderline personality disorder, which is something that, at the time when we met, I was 17. What I had been diagnosed with was bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
And, as you know, when we were at the school, they had a nurse. It was just someone who gave us our meds. It wasn't a nurse. It was one of the women who were in charge, who were like who were probably like 19, 20-year-old girls.
I remember some of those girls. They were like, you remember that chick?
Yeah.
She was like all tattooed.
Yeah.
She was like 24.
Yeah.
Can you imagine at 24 being like what would you call it? Not
a
even
mentor.
That's what they call
it.
mentor?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
A mentor at a lockdown facility for troubled kids.
Yeah.
At 24, like that's crazy to me.
No, it's like they were looking. I couldn't even imagine being in charge of anyone at 24,
no,
let alone a whole group of troubled women.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for me, it's like, I think my parents were just very overprotective. They were criminal defense attorneys. So like,
yeah,
I was always like in trouble as a kid, as their first kid. It was like, I wasn't like their prisoner, but like, they were scared. They didn't want bad things to happen to me. And a lot of times, but it is what it is. And so I got caught sneaking out of the house. I was 17, and I just, I was struggling with my mental health, and I had just kind of given up on myself.
Yeah.
And I think like I just wanted their attention at this point, and it meant even if it was, I guess, something bad, I as a kid, I would find that sometimes I would have to get upset for them to listen to me.
That's just normal. Like as I've embarked on processing and digesting everything, obviously I go to therapy, obviously, we do all of this work on ourselves. I mean, it's not like we were bad kids. You get a sense of neglect, and the only time sometimes when you have busy parents or certain type of upbringing that you get attention is when you do something bad. You know what I mean? And then they're like, hey, okay, now I have to reprimand you. It's like, thanks for saying hi.
Yeah. No, of course. Like I remember like I was very much spent a lot of time in my room as a kid.
Yeah.
And I remember talking with my mom the other day, like I didn't have a TV in my room growing up because I think they didn't want to keep taking it in and out.
Yeah.
They would take my TV privileges away, which was my access to MTV and like the culture. You know? TV was a huge part of my life growing up because, my parents were, when they came home, they just wanted to relax. So I feel like I was kind of raised on TV.
100%.
And like
you were an iPad
MTV
kid.
and Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
And like that. Yeah, that's our version of the iPad kid.
Yeah.
And so, I think that what happened was I got caught sneaking out of the house. They pulled me out of school.
Where were you going?
I snuck out to like a boy's house to make out with a boy.
Oh yeah.
And I was
How fun.
17.
17 though, like isn't that what you're supposed to be doing at 17?
Well, I did meet him on MySpace.
Yeah, the dangers of the internet.
I would say I'm like one of the OG influencers.
You kind of are.
Well, I mean, okay, there's like another side to that story, and maybe I'll share it or there's another side to that. Okay, so at this point I've probably already shared this story, but like I don't know. I'm nervous to share it. But I gotta just own it. I gotta just own it. It's not even like, okay, so here's what happened. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. I just
Were you
growing up
nudes?
growing up was just very difficult for everyone, and this is how it was difficult for me. And so for me, I would seek out attention from guys.
Okay.
And because I just feel like, at that point, I didn't have a good relationship with my father. I gotta be honest. I was a kid
Yeah.
and we didn't really have much of a relationship. And I struggled a lot with my mental health growing up. And my mom took a lot of the brunt of that. And my dad, he went to work and provided.
Yeah.
So, like, he had no idea. And I still think sometimes today he doesn't really understand what I go through mentally with
No.
borderline. And that's okay. I can meet him where he's at,
Yeah.
and and so I I got caught sneaking out of the house because I met a guy who's my age on MySpace, but I had put up a picture of me in my bra and underwear, but it looked like a bikini. And of course, at 17, that's horrifying. And of course, my mom found out because she just finds out everything. And that's when she was like, okay, we gotta reel it in. So I've never like publicly said that, but like obviously because listen, I have the dialect, right? There's a dialect. There's like two things can be true.
Yeah.
I definitely needed help.
Yeah.
I was going down a very scary path as
Yeah.
a young girl.
Yeah.
And also, was it the right place? I don't know. I mean, my life is awesome now. But it's not, but now it's awesome. But like that whole experience really shaped me. And I think for me, it's like that was something that 17 is very young. 17, you're still somewhat innocent. And I've lived away since I was 17. You've lived away since you were 11.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that because I completely agree. I know we just talk bits and pieces about different aspects of our life, but like I was like fucked up. I was like into drugs.
You were doing drugs at 11?
Yeah.
Which ones?
I mean, I did cocaine before I was 13 years old. I punched my assistant principal when I was 11 years old in the face. I got expelled from middle school for it.
I love that.
I was going downhill bad. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can relate. I kicked this girl in the knee growing up. She was a bitch. And then I called my camp counselor a bitch because she was also a bitch.
Yeah.
And this is when I was very young too. Like I was 12 when I called my camp counselor a bitch. And I was like,
Yeah. It was
7 when I kicked my
angry.
friend
Like
in the knee.
I think we were angry. You know what I mean? Like we wanted love. We wanted attention, And like I know we said it, but that's the way we got it,